And if you have someone who is very good, they could probably even make just plain speech sound like it's something out of Isabella Allende, you know, his novels. And so this man translated a short speech Alvaro gave as to why he was there with me. And the judge, you know, accepted it. And then it was CPS on the other side, on the other table, at the other table. And I remember, I thought it was kind of weird. I don't remember at what point I had to talk to Michelle Erickson a couple of times, and I don't quite remember at what point I noticed there was some sort of what appeared to be an attraction between them. But I had this very bizarre feeling that they knew each other and were on the same page. And I'm talking about Alvaro Pardo and Michelle Erickson. In the courthouse, while we sat there, Michelle was not flirting with him. The woman who was shocking and flirting with him, I mean, it was really bizarre. It was almost like I had just walked Don Juan of the entire, like the head honcho of the whole Colombian cartel, and everybody in Wenatchee was a petty drug dealer, and they all were just in awe that he was there. It was almost like that. I saw this woman who is typically very professional, a commissioner, Jill Wiseman, I believe it is. Jill Wiseman, Commissioner Jill Wiseman. She was there in the courthouse wearing a pink Oxford shirt, blouse, and open at the neck, and she was fawning over him. I really was very shocked because she came across as professional and holding herself together. She was leaning over, giving him the eye, flirting with him directly. Alvaro couldn't even but help notice. He would look over to the side for a minute, and she made it very clear that she was interested in having sex with him. I don't know how else to put it. There was no mistake in the way she looked at him and the kind of attention she was trying to draw to herself. It wasn't professional attention. It was worse than I've seen in a bar. And she was doing that in the courthouse. And I thought, what is going on? Kind of felt like I was bringing Alvaro to Wenatchee, and he had like different people trying to set him up with different women, and different women who already thought they knew who he was, or thought that they wanted to get a piece of him in the bedroom. There was Jill Wiseman, who deliberately invited sex in the courtroom. And then there was Michelle Erickson, and I noticed something more of a strange interest between the two of them, I think at a later date. And I thought it was really unusual. And she's very overweight, but I mean, like, some people like very overweight women. I mean, she's not ugly. She's not an ugly person at all. She has, you know, decent hair and decent face. She's just very overweight. Some men don't like that at all, and others, I think, sometimes prefer it. Alvaro didn't really care. I saw him with an interest in women who were definitely on the heavier side, and he didn't mind, which, you know, is fine. I don't care what he likes or doesn't like. But I really had this weird feeling that it was possible he would even hook up with her while he was there, or that he did hook up with her one time when he wasn't with me. I really would never question or doubt that he literally had sex with Michelle Erickson, which would be totally crazy, like a crazy thing for them to do. But it is not outside of the realm of possibility, considering the things that were going on there. And then the only other person that I noticed, aside from Michelle Erickson and Jill Wiseman, and then of course our housemate, who I've talked about briefly, Michael Holt, who did sleep with him. aside from those women, the only other one that I noticed him exchanging any kind of a phone number interest with was a Mexican, a Hispanic woman who was there, and he was trying to give her his phone number and get information about her while I was in the restroom. And I came out of the restroom, we were at a dance place, it was at Michael Holt's brother's place, the one that he owns. And we came out of the restaurant and she was sitting at a table and there were a bunch of Hispanic people around her, and I remember I saw her. She was very, very pretty. She was very beautiful. And I don't even know if she was from that town. I'd never seen her before in Wenatchee. I'm not sure if she came in from a different town even, or area. But he was trying to get it, they were trying to exchange information. And I saw that and I thought, how disrespectful. Like, right? Everybody knows that I'm here with him and I'm trying to get my son back. And I felt that I couldn't absolutely prove it, but I really felt like it was looking like he was trying to get information for contacting her for a personal interest in sex. And the way people acted when I showed up also made them look guilty. I mean, it was guilty kinds of expressions and moving to the side when I was suddenly unexpectedly there. I think that possibly what I did is I said I had to use the restroom, and then I turned around and I came right back without using the restroom. So it was sort of unexpected that I was back so soon. And aside from that, I wouldn't have any idea. I never noticed anything with anyone else. I mean, I noticed Michael Holt deliberately, very flagrantly flirting with him and wearing low-cut shirts around him and doing her hair and makeup when he was around, when we were renting a room from her at that house. And I noticed this commissioner inviting sex with her eyes and her behavior and use of her body language. And then I saw something that looked like there was something going on with him and Michelle Erickson. I just don't know what it was. I don't know if he was he thought she was kind of pretty and he flirted with her and she flirted with him. But they knew each other somehow on a professional level. I know that she's worked for the military in the past, done some of her social work research as an employee for a U.S. Navy hospital. And so I'm not sure if, since he's from Maryland, which is a very U.S. Navy-oriented town or state, and connected into different governments, I don't know if possibly it was because of that, or what. I wasn't even sure if possibly he was sleeping with her in an attempt to convince her to be nice, to possibly have my son returned to me, but I don't even really think that that's the case, because as we got to Wenatchee, and we were in a hotel, so let me just start with that. We flew in, and we were in this hotel, and he asked if I thought it was okay, and I said yes, it was. And we stayed there. He actually didn't want to be intimate right away, which is another little warning sign. He didn't want to be intimate in one way, and he wanted something else, and I didn't go for that. So then after that, he sort of looked smitten with me, again. Like, there were a few times where he looked like he was caught off guard and felt smitten with me unexpectedly. And that happened. And then after that, he was trying to learn the area, and he rented a car, got a car for rent, a rental car. And I sometimes had to take a nap, and he said he was going to go for a jog, so he went on these runs or went on jogs, but I never followed him to see where he was going exactly. I mean, he could have gone to somebody's house or who knows what, or a different hotel, and I would have had no idea. And I do know that one time he came home after he had been gone for a very long time, and I was playing this song about cheating. I mean, it just happened to come on the radio when I was playing Last FM or something in the music selection. Went to a couple songs about cheating, and he walked in and he looked really guilty. He heard those songs, and then he looked at me like he thought maybe I knew. I just had a feeling. I mean, I don't know everything that was going on, but I had a feeling he cheated on me when we were in Wenatchee, and that was extremely hurtful to me because I specifically said to him, first of all, I said, if we get engaged, that's the end of that. And then I said, and then I reiterated even more emphatically, I said, please, whatever you do, do not cheat on me or do anything while we are in Wenatchee. It would be very humiliating to me. It's not good for my case with my son. It doesn't show like a family bond and everything else. And it's really disrespectful. And no, if you cheat on me in Wenatchee, everybody will know about it. There is no possible way to keep it cheating secret in that area. And I really begged him and pleaded and warned him to not disrespect me or humiliate me while we were in Wenatchee. And I had suspicions that something was going on pretty much right away. And then, but I wasn't able to catch him on anything until we were then renting a room from this Michael Holt. So after staying in the hotel, he said, let's rent a room, let's look for a room in a house. So we found this one place. It sounded cute. I mean, it sounded like an old-fashioned house, which is what I typically like. And it was a large room in the house and then shared area space. And when we met her, she seemed very agreeable. She was very easy to work with and wasn't a problem at all. She had she told me later she had some Jewish stuff on her refrigerator, like magnets and cards and things. And I asked her if she, I don't believe I asked her. She volunteered the information. She said she was Messianic Jewish. And for anyone who doesn't know, Messianic Jewish is pretty much means that you are by birth Jewish. For example, like your mother is Jewish, or you have somebody who's Jewish in your family line that's very closely related to you. But you hold to a lot of the Jewish traditions and some of the rules even, maybe, but you believe in Jesus Christ. So it's like there's Christians who are maybe not related biologically to a Jewish line, and or they don't practice or care really about Jewish traditions. But the Messianic Jewish people, that is to explain how they want to incorporate both. And so that was what she said. I said, I didn't realize that there was a Messianic Jewish church around here. And she said that there was. So things were fine with us at staying there at first. But then it became this weird thing where I've already described where it was like I was Gidget.